refer back to the audit working paper, okay, under permanent file. So the result from the permanent file will be used as the knowledge, okay, for them to determine the extent of audit procedure, okay, in the substantive test, and they will set the audit program, okay, the substantive test procedures and put it in the audit program. Okay, then when they perform the substantive test, okay, they will look at only to the area of any potential of weaknesses. Okay, so today I will share screen. Okay. Can you see the slide?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. Okay, today we are going to look at the same thing. Okay, first you have to know the why the audit of account receivables is important. Okay, so you relates to the use of the assertion. Okay, the completeness, okay, correct valuation, the existence of the account receivable. Okay, and then okay, explain the assertion in relation to the classes of transaction and related disclosure and account balance. So today we look at to the account balance, okay, where we are looking on the accounts receivable, okay, and cash. And you must be able to give examples, okay, of procedures, okay, used by the auditor. So means you have to design your own audit procedures in order to gain evidence, okay, by using all the audit procedures such as inspection, observation, external confirmation, recalculation, reperformance, and analytical procedures and inquiry. Okay, and on the second part, okay, you have to design your audit procedures, okay, or audit program, reference to your audit objective, and then explain, okay, the substantive procedure used in audit of each of the following: trade receivable, repayment, and other receivables. Okay, and the last part, okay, on the bank and cash. So it's a long topic today, okay, on the account receivable and cash. Okay, we look at if we can able to finish on the account receivable and cash, we will proceed on the next class. Okay, so this is the overview what we are going to do on the account receivable. So in your mind, you must set that you have to observe, or you have to figure out that how the account receivable appear in the statement of financial position. So we focus on the account receivable, and we will do the audit of account receivable. So we will look at on the age receivable listing, okay, and then external confirmation, cut-off testing, and other audit procedure. Okay, this one has been done in sales cut-off. Okay, since the account receivable, okay, will relates to the credit sale. Okay, credit sales. So you have to focus on the credit sales plus with the account receivable. Okay, and other audit procedures relate to audit of receivable. After we look at on the individual receivable, okay, we will go to the revenue or the sales item. Okay, because item of sales, okay, relates with the accounts receivables, and you have to test the sales. Okay, testing the sales for the period of the financial statement. Testing of sales, revenue or sales is the same thing. Okay, and the last part you have to test for the prepayment. Okay, prepayment on the account receivable. Okay, so when we talk of account receivable, you have to relate with the assertion. Okay, normally, okay, before we go further, okay, while we're talking about account receivable, okay, it is relates to the credit sales. Okay, so when it relates to the credit sales, okay, you have to relate back, okay, how the company manage their credit sales. So what is the control activities, okay, apply on the credit sales. Apa ingat lagi, what are the control activities should be applied in credit sales? Okay, Christina? Control activities should apply to credit sale. Christina? Get my question or not, Christina? Senyap je you all hari ni, kenapa?
Sorry madam, like tadi apa?
Oh, lag eh? So patut kita duduk kat kelas lah ni. Jom kita pergi kelas jom. Control activities. So if we since the account receivable is related with the credit sales, right? Only the customer will have the allowance for to get a credit can be given the credit by the company. So what are the control activities, okay, that should be applied, okay, for the credit to give the customer a credit sales? What are the control should exist? From the internal control point of view. Christina?
Contact customers.
Come again, Christina?
Contact customers who are overdue.
Contact customers. If
Credit customers.
okay, control activities means can you give me some example of control activities, Christina? Anyone can help Christina?
Madam,
Yes.
authorization of credit term to customer.
Okay, good. Authorization, okay, of credit term to customer. Okay, good. Other than that, other than authorization of credit term,
Credit check to customer before.
yes, credit limit check. Okay, good. Anyone to add? What some more you will have to look at to the internal control procedures that should be applied. Okay, when the company give to their customer credit facilities. Other than authorization of credit terms, okay, credit terms ni kita dah tengok kan, macam today we will look at, yes, you have to know what is a credit term, 30 days, okay, 60 days, or 90 days, okay, because if they cannot meet the days allowable to them, they might be have the interest charge, okay, credit limit, okay, and then the proper approval on the sales order, okay. So that is other some of the control activities that must be applied, okay, regarding the account receivable. So that's why the test of control, okay, is important, because when the company already established or effective, then you will when you perform the substantive test on the account receivable, okay, you might reduce your test if you rely, if the internal control system here is effective. So you can reduce your substantive test. So that's why the first part we learn is on the control activities, and you need to perform the substantive test. Then after that, okay, when you come for the for the final audit, okay, you can expect, or you can estimate, okay, at what area you want to focus on the substantive test. Okay, so the thing that you have to focus on the account receivable is the amount due, the balance due. Okay, if let's say we are talking on individual account receivable, okay, let's say here Ahmad, so what balance they have here? Okay, balance. So you will look at to the individual amount due to the company, or amount owed to the company. Okay, so this is the thing that you have you will look at in the account audit of account receivable. Then you have to look at in terms of the, let's say, the credit terms. Okay, is 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. If they do not fulfill the terms of payment, okay, let's say 30 days, what is the rate of interest here? So this is called the allowance, okay, on the irrecoverable debt. Okay, and the third one is cut off goods dispatch and invoice. Okay, so that what you learn in your sales transaction before, cut off testing. Okay, on GDN, good dispatch not. Okay, so then you have to gather the sufficient appropriate audit evidence, okay, to look at whether the amount due to the company, so the balance each of the account receivable here is existence, okay, is the correct valuation, and so on. So you go back to the assertion. Okay, what assertion you are going to achieve? So this one, you go to the assertion. So you for the sales, okay, because when you look at to the classes of transaction, so this is normally relates to the sales. Okay, you will look at that the sales is occurred. Okay, the sales is complete. Okay, the sales is accurate. Okay, and then has been correct, recorded at a correct period, cut off. correct classification, and correct presentation. So that's the assertion that you are going to achieve. Okay, while talking on the account balance, okay, account balance, okay, so this is related to the sales. Okay, this is related to the account receivable. Okay, so recorded receivable exists on the existence, okay, on the right and obligation. So whether the account receivable here is actually the right of the company, or whether the account receivable is a obligation to the company, okay, where the company might have a transaction is the same customer, and also they are also the supplier to the company. Okay, and then account receivable, okay, should have been recorded, has been recorded, so completeness, okay, correct, accurate valuation and allocation, and correct presentation. So that are the assertion you have to look into, okay, when you audit the sales and account receivables of the company. Okay, any question on that? Ada soalan untuk assertion? Ada soalan tak? No. Okay. You. So the most important, okay, for the procedures to gather the audit evidence, okay, so the audit evidence for the account receivable, okay, is confirmation, so confirmation of account receivable, so as what we discussed on the first part tadi. Okay, sorry, which one is? Okay, while you are talking about this figure, okay, whether this figure is actually exists or not, whether this figure is a correct valuation or not, or whether this figure is the right and or the obligation of the company, okay, the most part that you have to perform is the confirmation. So this confirmation is one of the types of audit procedure. Okay, types of audit procedure. Okay, where you have the can someone list to me how many types procedure that you have learned so far? Types of audit procedures. How many we have? P3? How many we have P3 audit procedures? Fitri, are you listening? Are you listen or not the question? Yeah or not?
Type of audit procedures, madam.
Yes, audit procedures. Okay. How many?
7.
7. Okay, never mind 7 or 8. So can you list to me 4 out of 7?
Inspection, observation, reperformance, analytical procedure.
Okay, inspection, observation, okay, performance, okay, and analytical procedures. Okay, good. Okay, another 3. Is Ain Nizati? Another 3.
Saya madam.
Ain. Okay. Just continue. Another 3 is what?
recalculation,
Okay, recalculation,
confirmation
confirmation,
dengan inquiry.
inquiry. Okay, good. So these are the types of audit procedures that you are going to use, okay, when you perform the audit on the item in the financial statement. So the most important in the account receivable is the confirmation. So to whom the auditor need to confirm? To the individual account receivable. To individual account receivable. Okay. Individual account. Okay, account receivable. Okay. So what is actually the document, okay, that you need to analyze? Okay, it should become along with the item of account receivable in the draft of financial statement. Okay, why I said draft? Okay, because you will get a draft of financial statement from the company. Okay, so after you audit all the draft, then you will come up with the actual result of the financial statement. Then you whether the item should be adjusted or not, you have to discuss with the management. Then it come up with the audited financial statement. Then audited financial statement will be approved by the board of directors. So now is the process. Okay, when you after you get the draft of financial statement, so you will get the account receivable item. So what should you do? Okay, March auditor detailed work will be based on selection of account receivable balance chosen from the listing of sales ledger balances. So you have to recall back what you have in the sales ledger balance, okay, and it prepared by the client, okay, or auditor. So listing of sales ledger balance normally you will get from the client. Okay, and ideally it should be show as a list of the account receivable, same as the non-current asset register last time. And they have a period of time. So if you still remember, you have learned in the SQL system. So you will look at the aging schedule, okay, of the account receivable. So you need to get the substantive procedures, okay, to verify the completeness and accuracy of the client prepared list. Okay, so this is the assertion that you need to achieve. Okay, completeness and accuracy. So what should you do is you agree the balances from the individual sales ledger account to the list of balances or vice versa. Okay, agree the balance. So you get the balance from the draft financial statement. Okay, and you take the individual sales ledger account in the account receivable. Okay, in the sales ledger account, okay, or account receivable ledger account, and you trace to the list of balances. The verb is agree. So what you do is you have to agree the balance. Okay, and then you mesh. Okay, you compare the total of the list to the sales ledger control. Kira balik the list of balance and the sales ledger control, and confirm whether the list of balances reconcile with the sales ledger control account. So it should be reconciliation. Do the reconciliation to the control account. Okay, what is the difference between sales ledger account and control account? Anyone? Sales ledger account and sales ledger control account. Anyone to share what is the difference? This is from your accounting knowledge. Amira? Amira boleh share tak? What is the difference between sales ledger account and sales ledger control account?
Sales ledger account, it have individual balance.
Individual balance, yes. Sales ledger control.
Sales ledger control tu dia have all the total of the individual sales ledger.
Okay, good. Okay, sales ledger control account will appear in what type of ledger? Tak mana ledger dia masuk? Sales ledger control account ni, adakah dia dalam sales ledger yang sama dengan sales ledger control? What type of ledger you record the sales ledger?
Can you repeat the question?
Come again, Mira?
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, okay. Where the company record the sales ledger control account? In what type of ledger? Kalau sales ledger, individual sales ledger dalam sales ledger, right? Is it right, Amira? Types of ledger. Kat mana you akan nampak the sales ledger account? Individual sales ledger account. Okay, this one in the sales ledger. This one in the general ledger. Okay. I think your line is not good today. Line tak bagus ke? Sebab macam lambat respon.
Line okay.
Okay. Okay, Amy.
Tak okay.
Patutlah saya nampak you all tak ni. Lambat responnya. Okay. Never mind.
Tak ada internet.
Tak ada internet. Allahu Akbar. Kita pergi kelas lah lepas ni. Hari Rabu kita pergi kelas. Lepas tu hari Khamis pun kita duduk kelas lah. Okay. Salah belajar macam ni. Okay. This is the actually the draft. Okay. The draft or the lead schedule. Okay. For the audit of account receivable. Okay. So the client's name. Okay, prepared by and reviewed by. Okay, don't forget so every time when you do the audit, you must write the who prepared this one and who reviewed, must have the name and the date you perform the job. Okay, so this is the draft of the financial statement. So the trade receivable, the total of trade receivable is 12,500, where it comprises of the trade receivable and other receivable. So this is a trade receivable from the supermarket and other receivable, okay, 700,000. So the draft stated in the amount of trade receivable stated in the draft financial statement is 12,500. 12,500,000. Okay, 12,500,000. So this is the last year's figure. Last year's figure 8,900. So why? Okay, from the at the beginning stage. Okay, at the beginning stage when you get this type of this figure. Okay, this statement. Okay, actually what should you do? When you get this figure, you have draft year 6, you have actual year 5.
Investigate the differences.
Yes, good. Okay, you investigate the differences. So you perform the what the test we call it,
Substantive procedure.
Substantive procedure ataupun analytical procedures. Yes, good. You have to compare. Okay, compare last year's figure and this year's figure. Compare first by performing the analytical procedures. So is the increase, okay, increase kan, is significant or not? Okay, So is it a drastic increase or it is a acceptable increase? So from the supermarket, so they have increased about how many million here? 8,300,000 minus 11,800,000 minus 8,300,000. So there's increase about how much? Do you have a calculator? 300,
3,500K.
3,000,
3,500K.
3,500,000. Is it?
Yes.
3,500,000. Okay. So this is the increase of the figure of account receivable. So when you have this kind of idea, so you will expect that you need to perform because this is actually the significant increase, then you will have to look at the individual trade receivable balance ni. Okay, you have to look at to the individual trade receivable balance. So this is the individual trade receivable balance. So this is what you have in the age receivable listing or age schedule. Okay, so this is the total of trade receivable just now of the 12,500. So this is the listing, okay, of the trade receivable. So from the Jasco supermarket, so you have 11,800. So here 11,800 is come from supermarket. So it is about 11,800. Okay, and then others is comprised of what? Others is 700,000. Okay, other than that is come from supermarket. So what should you do is, okay, when you audit this one, okay, remember the first one tadi? Okay, when you get the list, account receivable listing and age analysis, so that is the example, okay, of age receivable listing. And then what should you do? Okay, you have to agree the balance, okay, from the individual sales ledger account to the list of balances. Okay, agree the balances from the individual sales ledger account. So you take the individual, so they are the 30 days credit terms, so which is due 3,100,000, 60 days due to 2,800,000, and 90 days 3,600,000, more than 90 days 2,300,000. So it is the terms of credit given to Jasco supermarket. Okay, that is individual item. Okay, so what should you do is actually, okay, what should you do to the individual item tadi? As I said just now, okay, you will look at to the individual balance. So actually the balance of 11,800,000 is due from Jasco supermarket is the largest balance owed. Okay, and 5,900,000 of this has been outstanding for 90 days or more. Okay, so when you look at to 90 days or more ni, okay, actually when you perform the analytical procedures, okay, analytical procedures, you have to determine, okay, ingat tak the number of outstanding days, number of collection period. Okay, number of collection period, number of days of collection period. Okay, if the collection period, okay, for the company, normally the previous year's collection period is only 90 days. So here they have 90 days means that they have figure more than 5,900,000, okay, considered as figure 2,300,000 is considered longer than the average. Okay, longer than the average. So you have to audit that figure. So the supermarket gets 60 days credit, but any issue with the recoverability of this amount could impact the financial statement. So if you still remember in the last class, okay, I show you that the customer, okay, the customer is only given 60 days. Okay, 60 days. Okay, look at here. Okay, this one. Okay, you go, you look to this statement. We will okay. The company for the year ended, remember that the company normally allows credit terms of 30 days. Okay, but the supermarket is given 60 days credit term. Okay, 60 days credit term. Okay, so 60 days, so means that, so if the collection period normally more than 60 days, so this is considered not good collection period already. So actually, okay, if the biggest customer is given 60 days, so it should be around 60 days collection period. Okay, 60 days collection period. So for the period longer than 60 days, you have to identify the reason, okay, with the customer. So this one. Okay, and there are all balances due also. So that is what should you do to Justco supermarket. Okay. The second one, you will have to look at to the old balance due from clothing terrain, Fred Fashion, Holy Aristocrat, Ivory Grounds and Look the Part. So this is the old balances. Okay, macam ni kita nak tahu old balances. Hutang lama. So tengok kat sini. You have 90 days. Kita tengok yang above 90 days ni. Because okay, the period is longer than the credit terms. Normally credit terms is 30 days sahaja. This one, 30 days. But now the company okay, have the amount owed to the client, to your client, okay, more than 90 days. So you focus to the amount that more than 90 days. Why the company not able to settle their debt within the credit terms given? Do you understand? Understand or not? You tengok kat sini je. Boleh tak? Kita fokus area kat sini sebab this is the area that will give the material misstatement, okay, the potential of material misstatement to the account receivable. Okay, sebab dia different from the policy given by the company. Policy dia 30 days. So dia akan bagi 60 days to the supermarket sahaja. But now when relates to the payment, so now this is overdue more than 90 days. So you have to check why the company not able to pay their debt. So you have asked to the client. Then in order to confirm whether this amount is not yet paid, so you send a confirmation letter. So later we will look at what is a confirmation letter. So this item kita akan hantar actually individual letter to confirm all this figure. Okay, all these figures should be confirmed. together with all the credit standing. Okay. So what should you do? What item should you focus? Okay, you should focus to the overdue and unusual amount. Okay, listing for all overdue and unusual amount. Discuss the recoverability of this item with management to ensure that receivables are appropriately valued in the financial statement. So you nak tengok whether the item is properly value at the correct amount. So you have to look at to this one. -6. So why everyday wear have a negative balance of account receivable? Okay, any idea? You learned it in financial accounting. Yasmin? Any idea, Yasmin, on the negative balance?
Yes. Negative balance. Probably because it already aged. They consider as bad debts.
Is this a bad debt? Is it a bad debt, Yasmin? Are you consider the negative balance as a bad debt?
Maybe pay in advance.
Pay in advance, yes, good. Yes, pay in advance. Other than that, pay in advance or overpaid, yes, good, overpaid.
They paid after we return it off.
It happened after when the goods credit note has been issued, right? Return good, yes. Okay, returns good. Okay, another one there. Yes, good. That is the idea for pay in advance. Okay, overpaid, returns good. And maybe you can check that everyday wear maybe have a everyday wear also is the supplier to the company. So at the same time, there is they become the account receivable, and at the same time, they also become the accounts payable. So you have the word set off. Pernah tak ada dalam financial accounting? Have you heard about that?
Ada.
Set of balance kan? Betul? Tak ingat dah?
Kontra.
Yes, kontra. Yes, betul. Kontra. So you pakai kontra terms. Yes. Okay. So you look at why the balance become negative. Okay. So that's what should you do. Okay. Then in terms of the confirmation, so the account receivable, so then after you discuss with the management discuss the irrecoverability account treatment of this item with management to ensure that the recoverable are appropriately valued. So in order to confirm that the value is correct, then you have to send a confirmation letter. So confirmation of receivable provide important corroborative evidence as to the value of receivable balance, and generally information will be positive. Customer confirm client's figure as correct, or negative. Should be carried out only when control are operating effectively. So in terms of confirmation letter sent out to the customer, so you need to be careful whether you want to send a positive confirmation or negative confirmation. So normally auditor will send a positive confirmation, and is a very seldom auditor send a negative, because negative confirmation, okay, is only applicable when the internal control system is very good. Okay, when the auditor reliance on the internal control system of the company. Okay. So actually what is the external confirmation is a specific technique used to test for the existence. Okay, this is the assertion that you get when you send a confirmation letter. Existence, right, and obligation. So it's not mean that when you send a confirmation letter, okay, you will check on the, okay, you want to look at on the valuation of the item. No, okay. And then under ISA 505, external confirmation cover the confirmation of amount by third parties, including the confirmation of amount owed, amounts by receivable. So we call it external confirmation because audit evidence obtained as a direct written response to the auditor from a third party in proper form, okay, or by electronic or other medium. So this is not the oral confirmation, this is the documented confirmation. So it's come from the third party. Okay, why this kind of information you need to know? Because okay, some questions okay, might ask you in terms of the sources, okay, of evidence. Okay, sources of evidence, especially on the reliability. Okay, can anyone share me how many sources of evidence you have under the audit evidence? Naim? Naim? Naim ni, Naim?
Ya, madam.
Okay, Naim ni jarang nak respon I. Cepat Naim. Okay, what is the, how many sources of evidence, Naim, that you have learned in audit evidence letter, previous chapter? Sources of audit evidence. Hear my question or not, Naim? You get my question? Naim dapat tak soalan saya?
Dapat.
Okay, what's the answer, Naim?
Five.
5. So what are the 5?
Um,
Okay, you tell me 5, then you list me what you consider your sources of evidence is 5. It's okay. Never mind. Just tell me. Tell class. What is the 5? Naim, boleh tak Naim? Okay, I help you Naim. Okay, when the auditor send a confirmation letter, so which sources of evidence actually the auditor gather?
Macam mana madam?
Okay, when the auditor send a confirmation letter, so what category of sources of evidence, okay, is done by the auditor? Which category? Okay, actually sources ada 3. Okay, what are the first? From the auditor sources. From the third party. And from the last one? Naim. Anyone? Class? I should have a face-to-face class with you lah. Tak boleh lah. So it's a very simple things. Okay, this is
Management.
okay, from the management. Okay, so thank you, Mimi. So these are the 3 sources of audit evidence. Sometimes, okay, the question is not come out in the single topic. Okay, you must remember that audit is different. Okay, they might combine you any topic, then you have to answer. Okay, so if let's say they ask you, okay, why the confirmation is considered is the highly reliable evidence. So how you are going to answer? So you have to relate with the sources of evidence and you have to plus with the level of reliability. So that's why you have to look at here, okay, the statement that an external confirmation will produce a written statement. So this is a written statement from each respondent. Each respondent is account receivable that the amount owed at the date of confirmation is correct. Okay, so when is the date of confirmation? As at the date, the preparation of the year end of the financial statement. So if the financial statement year end is on, okay, let's say today is it is on 30th June 2021. Okay, so you have to state the date. Okay, so the audit evidence obtained is reliable. Okay, since it is from an independent source and in documentary form. So that's why the question might ask you why the confirmation letter considered as a highly reliable audit evidence. So this is the statement that you need to support. Okay, you cannot simply answer without the fact. So this is the fact that you should include in your answer. Okay, so when I look at to your direction of your answer, PT1, baru tanda 3 So I look at that you are using your own sentence, but you not put what are the G's of the terms that you need to include in your answer. Okay, be careful in audit. If you write a long answer, okay, but there are no fact or there are no keywords, okay, relating to the audit terms, then normally you are not get the mark. Okay, be careful on that. And the confirmation letter must be written on the client's headed paper. Client's headed paper, so means that in the company headed paper ni letterhead, okay, and signed by the client, okay, with the copy of the current statement attached. Okay, and it shall request that the reply be sent directly to the auditor and a prepaid envelope is included for this purpose. So that's how you send a confirmation letter, okay, to the client. Okay. So, any question until this point on the confirmation letter? We will look at the sample of confirmation letter after this. Okay, but in introduction part of the confirmation letter, you have to relate with the sources of evidence. Why the confirmation letter become the highly sources? Okay, is a good evidence. Okay, by the auditor to achieve the existence and right and obligation of the account receivable. Okay, any question before we stop a while for the break? 5 minutes. Ada soalan? Okay, no question. Then we have a break 5 minutes. Okay.